Alright guys, just before the video starts, could you do me a big favour? Click that subscribe button and then click the bell icon to receive notifications of future posts. And also, if you want, become a member and support my channel that way by clicking join. Thank you and enjoy the video. Morning guys, listen, this is just a little test and a little explanation about the drive modes. I've done loads of research. I full charged my bus last night, overnight. I woke up with 20 miles of battery, and then the 83 miles is what's left in the petrol range, right? And then this is me, I reset it before I set off today, right? So what it is, I've done the school run today, and my school run, a lot of it is expressway and motorway, as you can tell by the average mile per hour of 22. That's the average mile per gallon I've done, and that's how many miles I've done, and that's how much charge I've got left. So I've still got 9 miles of charge left, even though I've done 17.6 miles. And the way I've done it is, I'll explain the modes first. Right, so the first one is auto EV, normal operation. So what I've read online and what I've thingied is the normal operation is technically the hybrid mode, but it will prioritise your charge unless the engine goes up. It uses extra strain on the engine. So if you're going up a big hill or you're going on the motorway, then it'll kick in the petrol engine to support the batteries. Don't forget guys, this car runs on batteries. It doesn't run on the engine. The engine's there to support the batteries. So what makes my wheels turn are the batteries, okay? So normal operation is literally normal operation. So it's the hybrid, but it does prioritise the EV charge, but the battery will come in. It's like auto mode, automatic mode. Leave it in that if you want, you know what I mean. Your next option is self-explanatory, EV only. Don't forget this bus got made for also low emission zones, London work, stuff like that. So if you just want to drive an EV only, you can do. Your next one is EV later. So what that means is, as you're driving around, it'll use the battery to support the it'll use the engine to support the batteries enough to not use any of the EV charge. So like if you're driving around on EV later, it'll kind of keep your battery at 8, but also it'll charge it with the regenerative braking. So you can actually save up some battery in this mode. And then the fourth mode is EV charge. Did you hear that? My engine kicked in, and now I'm stationary. The engine is now charging the battery. That's why my mile per gallon is dropping. Right, with this mode, I probably won't be using it because I've read online a lot that it uses a lot of mile per gallon, a lot of petrol to charge it. And the only reason I think this option is here is, just say I'm going into a low emission zone, yeah, and I need EV only, or I'm just going to spend the next hour flopping around town. Then I can sit there and charge my car. Now, some people say use this EV charge when you're on the motorway, so it charges you. Yeah, there you go. So it charges your engine while driving. But what I've found is, if I'm on the motorway and I'm using EV charge, it's not charging it much because all the energy is going into powering the car. So if I was going to use EV charge, I'd use it stationary. So then the engine's not working extra hard to run the car. It's just ticking over to charge the batteries. Okay, like the way I done my journey today, a lot of it is motorway and expressway. So what I done is I fully charged this overnight. I was on 20 miles and I literally went into normal operation. And the engine's gone now. So a normal operation, right? Anything over 40 mile an hour, as in like 50 zone or expressway or motorway, I'd put it in EV later. And the reason I've done that is because, as everyone knows, an electric car suffers a high speed. So I'll be using a lot more of my saved electric up, trying to get this 2-3 ton bus down the motorway at 65. So I went into EV later, used a bit of the petrol engine to support the batteries, didn't use much of my charge. Then when I come off the motorway, I went back on normal and used the battery only. So that's why my mile per gallon was 62 mile per gallon, and I still had 9 mile range left. But yeah, hopefully that's explaining the 4 driving modes. Now, there's a lot of playing about here. Like, I've got to play about a lot with the system and how it can benefit me. Because when my range goes to 0, I'll be on hybrid mode then. And obviously the mile per gallon won't be nowhere near as good. Now, if I didn't have to go on the motorway today to do the school run, that 20 mile range this morning in hybrid mode would have lasted a long time, and my mile per gallon would have been a hell of a lot better. So it is trial and error. The best way to play the system to get the best mile per gallon out of my situation. Now, if I had this van and I just had to do the school run today and didn't have to do anything else, I probably would have done a full school run at EV only and drove home and wouldn't have used any petrol. So that's what's good about the flexibility. This van is unreal, right? But what I want to do now is I want to reset my values, and I'm going to go on EV charge. And let's see. So my battery's just kicked in. So now I'm not driving around and parked stationary, but my battery is kicked in. Don't forget, guys, as well, if that reaches 0, it doesn't mean you can't drive. That's the whole point of the plug-in hybrid. The 0 is just like the battery only range. You still got your engine to support the batteries to keep you going. They actually call it a range extender instead of an engine, because it is literally just a range extender. So far it's not showing any mile per gallon. I'm guessing that's because I'm not driving anywhere, isn't it? If I had mile per gallon, it would be going down because I'm obviously using a petrol engine. But because I'm not driving anywhere, it's hard to tell what fuel I'm using to charge it. I don't know how I'm going to work that out, like. But let's just see if that goes. Let's just see if that goes to 10. So the way I'm going to run this car at the moment, if I'm at under 30-40 mile an hour, I'm going to be in hybrid only, which is normal operation. And then if I've got to go on the motorway or an expressway, I'm going to go on EV later to save what charge I've got for back when I go around town and 30-40s. And then if I'm parked up having my dinner, I might put on EV charge just while I'm having my dinner. Might be able to get a couple extra miles out of it, you know what I mean? But yeah, obviously I'm no genius. I've only just got the bus. I'm just going on research and what I found out this morning. It is going to be a lot of trial and error with this car, but I'm very excited to do it. But there was not many information about the EV modes explained properly, so that's the reason why I've done this video. But I thought to include mile per gallon stuff because obviously the trip I've done this morning. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I hope you thought it was very informational. Give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out. Alright guys, it is 7 minutes and 50 seconds and I got an extra 2 mile range of EV just sat here. So no idea what it's costing me in petrol, but obviously if I get EV range sat here and then I can use that EV range. And don't forget, I forgot to mention, there's an L. So if I get EV range and I'm driving an EV range, I'll probably get more than a mile because of me regenerative braking. So you have park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then L. And the L is, you can technically one pedal the car. When you let off the accelerator, the car slows down, not using your brake pads, uses regenerative braking, which then charges the engine, so you get more juice as you're driving around. And also stops wear and tear on your brake pads and discs. But yeah guys, hope that's been a bit more informational for you, and I'll see you soon.